Good morning and welcome to my kitchen. Today I would like to make something sweet, some pastries that my mom used to make when I was still going to school. And I remember her making them quite often. For myself, it's been so long, I don't even remember if I did make them since I have my children. So it will be something new for them today to try. But me and my brother, when we were coming back from school and smelled those little pastries, we were excited. We liked them, something we knew. So when I thought of this recipe for today, of course, my mind went back in a day when I was about my children's age, and they are 6 and 9 right now. Simple to make, very easy, and of course, you can pick any preserved flavor of your choice. You can have this dough in the fridge, half of it for next time, up to 3 days, or freeze it and just use it whenever you feel like having those again. Welcome to my kitchen and thank you for watching. And the ingredients I need today: half a cup of sugar, 2 egg yolks, 2 tablespoons of milk, 1 stick of butter, 1 2/3 of a cup of flour, pinch of salt, lemon extract, and 1 package of vanilla pudding. I'm using a Polish pudding, but of course you can use any pudding you have. It will need to be about 40 grams, and that will be stated on the package. Simple. You just combine all the ingredients. Have a cup of sugar, those 2 egg yolks, stick of butter, and the butter needs to be softened. Flour, pinch of salt in there, vanilla pudding, about 40 grams, and few drops of lemon extract. I am about to finish the one I have here, and I don't think that's enough, so I will use another one I have here. I would say about 8 drops. I mean, depends how lemony you want it to be. I like the lemon flavor, so for me 8 drops is perfect. And those 2 tablespoons of milk. Okay, mix it all up until you have all the ingredients incorporated well. And then after this is done, I will divide my dough into 2 separate pieces and put it in the fridge for about 15-20 minutes. And why do I want to divide it and put it into 2 pieces instead of just one? When I work with one, the other one can stay in the fridge. If your dough is colder, it's easier to work with it. Or you can leave one in the fridge up to 3 days or freeze it for next time. Okay, once this is mixed, I will come closer to show you the consistency, how it looks like after it's all mixed together. And here it is, soft and silky, very soft and silky. But look, it doesn't stick to my hands. It is soft, but it doesn't stick. It's not too wet, it's not too dry. If your dough is too dry, well, put 1 extra teaspoon of milk in it. If your dough is too wet, sprinkle it a little bit with flour. Not every flour is created equal, let me tell you. Some absorb the liquid faster and some don't. But it should be like this, soft and easy to touch, stretchy, but it won't leave anything on your hands. Okay, beautiful. Okay, now I will divide it in half and wrap it in foil. So 15-20 minutes in the fridge. I'll see you soon. It's been 15 minutes. I took the dough out of the fridge and now I'm trying to make an even rectangle so it's easier to cut. Of course, some flour I didn't need underneath my dough. Once I have it rolled, I will come closer with the camera. But it's pretty similar to what you do when you buy Pillsbury dough for those croissants. And I will use pizza cutter to cut the shapes out. So the shapes, of course, triangles. I will put the preserve in and then roll it. So about small teaspoon. Okay, and of course you start from the widest and roll it. Okay. Twist the corners and you will have some kind of crescent shape. So one is ready. Same with the other one. Twist the corners. So now my oven is preheating to 350. And I actually ended up making all of them. And what I wanted to tell you, because I have 3 different flavors, and how would I know which one is which? I have blueberry. So on the end here, you can see the smallest, thinnest part. I have put some of the blueberry, and it has the darkest color, so I will know that this is the blueberry. And then for the apricot and strawberry. So that way I'll know which one is which. So those are ready to go in the oven, 350 for about 15 minutes. It might be 14, 16. Just pay attention to the color. If it has nice brownish, golden brownish color, then it's time to take them out. Okay, those are ready, and I have to say it took me 16 minutes. Once those cool off, I will put some powdered sugar on top and then come closer with the camera and break it in half. Those finally cooled off, so I can put some powdered sugar on top. I don't even know if I ever made them here, being here. And I came when I was 18, now I'm 47. So it's been a long time. Those are not chewy, those are crunchy, just like cookies. Whatever jam you put in, the flavor you will have. Thank you for watching. Smacznego. Bon appetit. I would like to let you know why I am a big fan of using scale instead of the cups. I do put measurements in cups, so it's easier. As you know, I'm from Europe, so everything for me is in grams. And here in United States, any recipes you have is usually in cups. But I want you to pay attention to one thing. So take it as a tip. I learned by mistakes because I've done it before. So I have put together a flour, the same flour, all-purpose flour, into the same measuring cups. Exactly 2 cups in here and exactly 2 cups in here. But I want to measure it using the scale and show you if there is a difference and how much of a difference it can be. So here is the first 2 cups of flour, as you can see, 2 cups. And here is exactly 2 cups all around. No cheating. And I will turn on, and there's nothing here. my scale. So it's set to 0. Maybe I should show you. So it's set to 0. If you can see. Okay, and I will put the first 2 cups in. And it says it is 248 grams. So now I will take this into a different cup, and it's empty. Put it back. It comes back to 0. And now the other 2 cups. All of it. And this one is 314. So now you can see that 2 cups are not created equal, right? They do not measure on a scale the same. So why is that? Well, it's all about handling the flour. If we are gentle with it, the flour is fluffy, it's light, and then 2 cups, nice fluffy flour. If you handle the flour, shake it, kind of bang it, on the surface somewhere, it loses its volume because it becomes dense. So you keep adding to have exactly 2 cups, right? Well, but it's much, much more heavier. It's much, much more flour that you need. So if you ever had a cake and you tried to follow the measurements and directions and the cake wasn't quite the way you hoped, it wasn't as fluffy, it wasn't as delicate, it wasn't as soft, well, maybe because there was too much flour. So it's just a tip, and I hope you will find it helpful to kind of pay attention to how we handle flours. I know how it is when you bake something and you put your heart into it, time into it, and then it doesn't come out the way you hope for. And it's frustrating. So I hope this helps. Thank you for watching.